Welcome, dear seekers, to our exploration of the profound concept known as the greatest power of now, a gateway to spiritual awakening. Today, we will unravel the intricate layers of this powerful idea, guiding you through the essence of living in the moment, which is not just a practice, but a transformative experience that elevates our existence on every imaginable level. In our first discussion, let's focus on understanding the foundational truth of the present moment. What is the now? It is not just a tick of the clock, nor merely a fleeting second that passes by unnoticed. It is the very arena where life unfolds, the stage on which our consciousness acts. The now is all there is. The past is a memory, and the future a projection. Both are constructs of the mind, not realities that we can touch or see. Why then do we often find ourselves entangled in the regrets of what was or the anxieties of what might be? It is because we have not fully grasped the power of now. Living in the present means being fully aware, fully awake to the experiences and interactions that occur in every moment. When you drink a glass of water, feel its coolness, its movement, the sensation of quenching your thirst. This is the now. You may wonder, how does one anchor themselves so firmly in the present that past and future lose their disruptive power? It begins with awareness. Simple practices can lead to profound realizations. Start by observing your breath. Notice its rhythm, its depth. Feel its journey through your body. This is not just a practice of mindfulness, but an act of reconnection with the life force within you. Consider this. When you become aware of your breathing, have you ever noticed how you cannot simultaneously dwell on a past hurt or worry about a future event? This is the power of now. It anchors you. It grounds you in the reality of your existence at this very moment. Let us now explore how this understanding transforms our interactions and relationships. When you listen to someone, listen with your whole being. Often, we listen only partially, our minds half occupied with thoughts of what we need to do next, or what we should have done differently before. To listen fully is a gift not only to the one speaking, but to yourself as well, for it enriches your relationships with depth and sincerity. As we conclude this first part of our journey into the power of now, I invite you to reflect on how often you truly dwell in the present. It's not merely about understanding these concepts intellectually, but experiencing them, living them, the mastery of now. Unlocking the transformative power of present moment. Living in the second part of our exploration into the greatest power of now, we focus on the practical application of this concept in our daily lives. How does one consistently live in the present moment, and what are the tangible benefits? The practice of living in the now requires consistent effort. It is a skill, much like learning to play an instrument. You wouldn't expect to play a symphony the first time you sit at a piano. Similarly, mastering the art of present living takes patience and practice. One effective method is to create regular check-ins with yourself throughout the day. Set a gentle alarm if you must, or use regular activities as reminders. Each time you check in, pause whatever you're doing and take 3 deep, conscious breaths. This simple act brings your attention back to the now, back to where your power lies. But why is this important? Scientific research shows that when individuals focus on the present, they report higher levels of well-being and lower levels of stress. This is because living in the now allows us to escape the often overwhelming complexities of our past and future narratives. It simplifies life to what can be managed and appreciated in the moment. Now, consider the deeper implications of this practice on your emotional health. When you live in the now, you inherently live in a state of acceptance. You accept what is, as it is, without resistance. This acceptance does not mean resignation. It means recognizing and embracing the reality of the current moment. From this acceptance comes peace, and from peace comes clarity and the strength to handle challenges more effectively. Imagine how this practice could transform your relationships. When you are fully present with someone, you offer them your entire focus, a rare and precious gift in today's distracted world. This can dramatically deepen your connections, fostering empathy and understanding in ways that superficial interactions never could. As we wrap up this second part, I encourage you to experiment with these practices. Notice any shifts in your interactions, your mood, or your overall sense of well-being. The power of now is not just a concept to understand, it's a reality to live. Embracing the eternal moment, unveiling the spiritual dimensions of now. In our continued journey to harness the greatest power of now for spiritual awakening, we delve into the profound spiritual dimensions that this practice unveils. It is here, in the deep embrace of the present moment, that we touch the eternal, a realm beyond time where our true essence lies. Understanding and experiencing this eternal moment is not just an exercise in mindfulness, it is a gateway to a transformative spiritual awakening. The now is often overlooked, seen as merely the thin line between the past and the future. However, when we focus deeply, we realize that the now is not just a point in time, it's a state of being. It is the space where we can experience our true selves, unencumbered by past conditioning and future expectations. Here lies the essence of spiritual awakening, the recognition and realization of our true, unbounded nature. How does one experience this awakening? It begins with the dissolution of the ego, that part of us that clings to identities, experiences, and achievements. The ego thrives on separation. It separates us from others, from nature, and most importantly, from our true selves. Living in the now diminishes the ego's power over us, as the constructs of time fall away, and we are left with the raw reality of our existence. Consider the nature of thought itself. Thoughts are often tied to time. They reflect on past events or anticipate future ones. By focusing on the now, you cut through the incessant stream of thought. You allow yourself a moment of clear, unobstructed consciousness. In this clarity, there is a profound silence, a silence so deep that you can hear the whispers of your soul. This is the voice of your true self, speaking not through words but through the profound peace of simply being. This practice of being in the now opens us to experiencing life in its fullest expression. Every sensation, every interaction becomes more vibrant and filled with meaning. Have you ever noticed how a simple walk in nature becomes a profound experience when you are truly present? The colors seem richer, the sounds more melodious, and the air fresher. This intensified perception is a glimpse into the spiritual richness of the now. Moreover, living in this eternal moment allows us to see the interconnectedness of all things. This is a fundamental spiritual truth. All life is interconnected through an invisible web. When we live in the past or future, we are too wrapped up in our individual dramas to see this connection. But in the now, barriers fall away, and we experience a sense of unity with all that is around us. This realization fosters a deep sense of compassion and empathy as we recognize ourselves in others and them in us. Let us also explore how the power of now affects our response to life's inevitable challenges. When faced with difficulties, our usual approach is to either dwell on the problem, spiraling into anxiety or depression, or to project into the future, trying to solve or avoid problems that have not yet occurred. Both these responses are rooted in time-based thinking and often lead to increased suffering. However, when we approach challenges from the perspective of the now, our approach changes. We deal with problems as they arise, not as abstract concepts in our minds. This presence allows us to respond from a place of calm and centeredness, providing us with the clarity to take effective action. It is in the now that we find the courage and the wisdom to face whatever comes our way with grace and equanimity. As we conclude this third part of our exploration, I invite you to reflect on how the practice of living in the now has begun to shift your perspective on life. Have you noticed moments of deeper connection, increased peace, or heightened awareness? These are the seeds of your spiritual awakening, taking root in the fertile ground of the present moment. Cultivating timeless presence, integrating eternal now into life's tapestry. In this final installment of our profound exploration into the power of the now and its role in spiritual awakening, we explore how to seamlessly integrate this powerful state of being into every aspect of our daily lives. The journey thus far has prepared us to not only understand but also practically apply the lessons of living in the present, transforming ephemeral moments into a continuous experience of enlightenment and joy. To integrate the eternal now into our lives is to live each moment with an awareness that transcends the ordinary. It means our daily activities, interactions, and even our thoughts are infused with the consciousness of the present. This integration is not about discarding our responsibilities or withdrawing from the world. Rather, it involves engaging with the world more fully, with a heart open to the depth of each experience. The first step in this integration process is to cultivate a mindset of presence in all activities, no matter how mundane they may appear. Whether you are eating, driving, working, or speaking with someone, let each action be performed with full attention. This practice transforms routine actions into rituals, imbuing them with a sense of sacredness. The ordinary becomes extraordinary, and the mundane becomes the canvas for your spiritual expression. Another vital aspect of integrating the now is through the power of gratitude. Gratitude anchors us in the now by focusing our attention on what is, rather than on what is missing or what could be. Begin each day by acknowledging something for which you are grateful. This could be as simple as the warmth of the sun, a pleasant interaction, or the mere fact of being alive. Gratitude not only brings us into the present but also elevates our vibration, attracting more positivity into our lives. Living in the now also requires us to let go of our attachment to outcomes. So often, our actions are heavily influenced by our desires for specific results. This attachment pulls us out of the present and creates a cycle of expectation and disappointment. When we act without attachment to the outcome, we invest our best efforts into the task at hand without the burden of expectation. This frees us to experience joy and satisfaction in the action itself, regardless of the outcome. Furthermore, integrating the now means being aware of and managing our emotional landscapes. Emotions can often take us on a journey back to the past or propel us into imagined futures. By acknowledging our emotions in the moment and observing them without judgment, we allow them to pass through us without disrupting our state of presence. This emotional awareness is not about suppression, but about recognition and management, giving us greater control over our inner world. Lastly, to live in the now at all times, we must cultivate silence and solitude regularly. In silence, the noise of the world and the chatter of the mind subside, allowing us to connect with our deeper selves. Solitude provides the space to simply be, without the roles and masks that society often demands we wear. These practices are not about isolation, but about returning to our essence, refreshing our spirits, and maintaining our connection to the eternal now. As we conclude this series, remember that living in the now is a journey, not a destination. It is a continuous practice that deepens and enriches over time. Each moment you choose presence over distraction, you weave the eternal now more firmly into the fabric of your life. You transform not only your own existence but also influence those around you through the profound power of your awakened presence. May this journey into the now illuminate your path and lead you to a life of deeper peace, profound joy, and limitless spiritual awakening. Thank you for sharing this sacred journey towards embracing the timeless presence in our everyday lives.